Hare Krishna, Ruchi Mataji. Hare Krishna. Ruchi Mataji, can you hear me? Yes, I hear some voice, but it's not clear what you're speaking.
So I'm not well at all. So I will just go ahead with it.
Ruchi Mataji, I have my computer on full volume, but still I'm struggling to hear.
I'm saying I am not at all well today. So I will just hear.
Oh, you're not feeling well today, so you'll just hear. Okay. Please take care of yourself.
मम्मी हो गया। हाँ माता जी, मेरे को किधर करना है, मेरे को बताओ, आप इधर हो। अब माता जी मैं बोलूंगी माता जी। नहीं ये ओ मैं आती हूँ। चाबी किधर है? चाबी नहीं उधर है माता जी। हरे कृष्णा।
హరే కృష్ణ.
లానికి నువ్వు ఒకసారి స్టార్ట్ చేయవని నేను ఇప్పుడే వస్తాను. రోహిణి మాతాజీ వచ్చారు ఇంటికి.
సరే సరే.
స్టార్ట్ చేయను నేను ఒకసారి దింపేసి వస్తాను మళ్ళీ. ఓకే
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Welcome back to our Srimad Bhagavatam class. We'll begin with the prayers and then we'll do some fun exercise at the end. Okay. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jananjana Shalakaya Uन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. अष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भवति नैष्ठिकी. So welcome back, Ruchi Mataji, Manasika Mataji. Shimarasa is a little busy, so I'm getting started. And we are on the last 4 verses of this chapter. This is a long chapter about the description of Daksha's second attempt for sacrifice. But this is a very successful attempt because Lord Vishnu appeared from his sacrifice. And from tomorrow onwards, we will be reading a very different and very inspiring and interesting section of Srimad Bhagavatam about Dhruva Maharaj. But before that, we'll wrap up this chapter. This has also been a very, very exciting chapter. So we'll be reading from text 56 onwards. And before we start reading, I would like to just check who was the person who was speaking last. I think the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he also started speaking. So I wonder if he is still continuing to speak. So in text 50, Lord Vishnu replied. So in 51, the Lord continued. In 52, the Lord continued. So in 54 also the Lord continued. From text 55 onwards, this is Maitreya speaking. So let me read what the Lord said and then we can continue to what Maitreya was saying. So in text 50, Lord Vishnu replied, Brahma, Lord Shiva and I are the supreme cause of the material manifestation. I am the super soul, the self-sufficient witness. But impersonally, there is no difference between Brahma, Lord Shiva, and me. Text 51, the Lord continued, my dear Daksha, Dvija, I am the original personality of Godhead, but in order to create, maintain, and annihilate this cosmic manifestation, I act through my material energy, and according to the different grades of activity, my representations are differently named. Text 52, the Lord continued, one who is not in proper knowledge thinks that demigods like Brahma and Shiva are independent, or he thinks that the living entities are independent. Text 54, a person with, 53, a person with average intelligence does not think the head and the other parts of the body to be separate. Similarly, my devotee does not differentiate Vishnu, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, from anything or any living entity. 54. The Lord continued, one who does not consider Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, or the other living entities in general to be separate from the Supreme, who knows Brahman, actually realizes peace. Others do not. Text 55. The sage Maitreya said, thus Daksha, the head of the Prajapatis, having been nicely instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, worshipped Lord Vishnu. After worshipping him by performing the prescribed sacrificial ceremonies, Daksha separately worshipped Lord Brahma and Shiva. So we are continuing from there on. So this is text 55. Sorry, 56. If anybody would like to read, this is your chance.
Okay, I can start. So thank you for reading the previous verses. So we have few verses, short purports today. So hopefully we'll complete this chapter and then we can start the new chapter tomorrow. So this is Canto 4, Chapter 7.
Special request. If someone is not performing or multitasking with reading Srimad Bhagavatam, it would be nice if we can turn on our videos. Is it possible?
I don't know if my video is set up. I will see if I can.
Yes.
Do you see me? I don't know what's going on actually.
I can see you, Premarasa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
But if someone is multitasking and if you have to take care of something else besides reading Srimad Bhagavatam, then you can turn off your video. Ruchi Mataji, we would love to see you.
Yeah, but if we see the Bhagavatam screen, we cannot see other devotees. If we see other devotees, we cannot see the screen. So,
Is it true?
yeah. Hare Krishna Mansiganga Mataji. Nice to see you too after a very, very long time.
Yeah, I'm not feeling well, so
Okay, so shall we start?
Yeah, we'll start and we'll stop our videos, and again we'll have our videos back at the end of the class. It would have been nice to have Ruchi. We could see Ruchi Mataji also.
I said I am not feeling well. I am lying down. That's why I don't know.
Maybe we'll try again at the end of the class. Okay, Mataji?
Mataji is in the form of Mahavishnu lying down on the causal ocean. So when she wakes up, then the material manifestation will start again. So
So funny.
okay, so we will start with the class. Here we are. So this is text 56. Rudram cha svena bhagena hi upadhavat samahita karmanota vasanena somapan itaranapi udavasya sahastvignibihi sasnav avabhritam tataha. Translation. With all respect, Daksha worshipped Lord Shiva with his share of the remnants of the yajna. After finishing the ritualistic sacrificial activities, he satisfied all the other demigods and other people assembled there. Then, after finishing all these duties with the priests, he took a bath and was fully satisfied. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Rudra Shiva was properly worshipped with his share of the remnants of the yajna. Yajna is Vishnu, and whatever prasad is offered to Vishnu is offered to everyone, even to Lord Shiva. Sridhar Swami also comments in this connection, Svena Bhagena, the remnants of the yajna are offered to all the demigods and others. So maybe I can read the next verse also, and then Manasi Ganga Mataji, would you like to read the next two verses?
Okay.
Okay, so I will read 57. You can read 58 and 59. We have two more after that. So This is 657. Tasma api anubhavena svenaiva vaptaradhishe dharma eva matam datta tridasas te divam yayu daivam yayu. Translation. Thus, worshipping the Supreme Lord Vishnu by the ritualistic performance of sacrifice, Daksha was completely situated on the religious path. Moreover, all the demigods who had assembled at the sacrifice blessed him that he might increase his piety, and then they left. Purport. Although Daksha was considerably advanced in religious principles, he awaited the blessings of the demigods. Thus, the great sacrifice conducted by Daksha ended in harmony and peace. Hare Krishna, Dhira Shanta Mataji.
Okay, 58. Evam dakshani itva sakti purva kalevaram yagne himavatak menayam iti susrama ruma. Translation. Maitreya said, I have heard that after giving up the body she had received from Dakshayani, his daughter, took her birth in the kingdom of the Himalayas. She was born as the daughter of Maina. I heard this from authoritative sources. Purport. Maina is also known as Minaka and is the wife of the king of the Himalayas. 59. Tam eva dayatambuya avrinte patim ambika ananya bhavaikakatim sakti suteva purushan. Translation. Ambika, goddess Durga, who was known as Daksayini Sati, again accepted Lord Shiva as her husband, just as different energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead act during the course of a new creation. Purport. According to a verse of the Vedic mantras, Parasya Shaktir Vividaiva Shruyate, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has different varieties of energies. Sakti is feminine, and the Lord is Purusha, masculine. It is the duty of the female to serve under the Supreme Purusha. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, all living entities are marginal energies of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, it is the duty of all living entities to serve this Supreme Person. Durga is the representation in the material world of both the marginal and external energies, and Lord Shiva is the representation of the Supreme Person. The connection of Lord Shiva and Ambika, or Durga, is eternal. Sati could not accept any husband but Lord Shiva. How Lord Shiva remarried Durga as Himavati, the daughter of the Himalayas, and how Kartikeya was born is a great story in itself. Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Dhira Shanta Mataji, would you like to read?
Mataji, I am downstairs, so
Okay.
somebody can read. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Ruchi Mataji, my sister, any one of you would like to read? There are only 2 more verses, very short translation and purport. Oh, just translation.
Mataji said she's not feeling well. She wants to hear today.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear that part.
Okay, text 660. Etad bhagavata shambho karma dakshadvara druha shrutam bhagavatach chishyad udhavan me brihaspate. Translation: Maitreya said, "My dear Vidura, I heard this story of the Dakshi Yagya, which was devastated by Lord Shiva from Uddhava, a great devotee and a disciple of Brihaspati." Text 61. Idam pavitram paramam isha cheshtitam yasya yasyasyam ayushim agho marshanam yo nityadha karnya naro anukritayat धुनो अघम गौरव bhakti bhavatah. The great sage Maitreya concluded, if one hears and again narrates with faith and devotion the story of Daksha Yagya as it was conducted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, then certainly one is cleared of all contamination of material existence, O son of Guru. Purport. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Sacrifice Performed by Daksha.
Thank you. So, in today's verses, it is Maitreya actually speaking to Vidura, and he's actually sharing, it's like a continuation from the previous verses. So he's sharing how Daksha, with all respect, worships Lord Shiva, and Shiva is very satisfied with the remnants of the yagya that was his share and he received after being offered to Lord Vishnu. So yesterday, in those verses, we actually read that Vishnu is the Yagyapati, and after Vishnu, the remnants of the sacrifice are distributed to all the demigods. So there was also this analogy that Manasi Ganga Mataji very nicely explained about milk and yogurt. So it speaks about how Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu are one and different at the same time, because yogurt is also a milk product. So, and it comes from milk with some agent being added. So similarly, it is said that Vishnu, all the demigods are parts and parcels of Vishnu, and they are coming from the same source. Like yogurt is coming from milk. Similarly, all of these demigods are parts and parcels of Krishna, so they're all coming from the same source. Yet they're different because of because they are jiva souls, and just like milk is different. Sorry, just like yogurt is different from milk. So similarly, they're also different for them being in the category of Jiva. However, Shiva is actually, he does not fall into any of these categories. He falls in his own category. It's called Shiva Tattva. But so that was the analogy we were reading yesterday. So today's verse is a continuation of that, which says that Shiva also, with due respect, received the remnants of the prasad from Vishnu, and he was very satisfied. And so it is said that then after finishing all those duties with the priest, he took bath and was fully satisfied. So this is the first verse. Then in verse 57, it is said that thus worshipping the Supreme Lord Vishnu by the ritualistic performances of sacrifice, Daksha was completely situated on the religious path. So actually, when we speak about bhakti or when we speak about devotion, then it is said that bhakti is only performed when it is directed towards Lord Vishnu or Krishna. So I don't remember, there is a root word that Maharaj usually speaks about, and he says that that root word actually of bhakti is I don't know, so maybe somebody remembers, they can remind me. But it actually means to connect with Lord Krishna or to Lord Vishnu, because actually he's the source of everything, and when we connect everything to the source, then the service actually becomes perfect or fulfilled. And here in this case, if we see that Daksha, he, by worshipping Lord Vishnu, he was again situated in the right path, because previously he was envious of Lord Shiva, and he was actually performing so many offenses against not just Shiva, but also all the other people who were present over there, by cursing them and doing like so many different things. And even to his own daughter, like he neglected her. And anyway, we know the story now. So now by worshipping Shiva, Vishnu, he was again back on his religious path. And another point that is made here is that he actually receives lots of blessings from the demigods who assembled in the yajna. So actually, if we see those devotees who are serving the Lord, when we receive their mercy, then we can actually progress in our devotional life. So therefore, generally, when we go to the temple, people ask for blessings from the pujaris, they ask blessings from the devotees. And even in general, like even we always request devotees to pray for us, and we are always looking for their mercy, because Krishna's mercy actually comes through his devotees. So here, in this case also, all these demigods have been serving Krishna in whatever capacity that Krishna has empowered them. And Daksha, by receiving their mercy, actually his piety has increased. And the sacrifice, with this, the sacrifice ends in harmony and peace. So actually, when things are not done as per the scriptures, then there is always chaos. But when things are done as per the scriptures, as per what is given in the Vedas, then actually there is a lot of peace and harmony. So that's the verses I read. Manasi Ganga Mataji, would you like to share from what you read, those two verses?
Okay, so now Maitreya begins talking about Dakshayani, the daughter of Daksha. And she, is it Maitreya, is it a woman or a man? Maitreya. Does anybody know?
He's a man. He's a sage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the sage reports what he has heard, and what he has heard is that after giving up the body, Dakshayani took birth in the kingdom of the Himalayas. She was born as the daughter of Meena. And Meena, another name for Meena is Menaka, being the wife of the king of the Himalayas, who is Lord Shiva. And another name for Dakshayini or Shakti is Ambika, which is the goddess Durga, all these different names. And she again accepted Lord Shiva as her husband. It says, just as different energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead act during the course of a new creation. So the Lord has different types of energies. One is Shakti, which is feminine, and Purusha. The Lord is Purusha, which is masculine. And the female energy, the purpose of the female energy is to serve the Supreme Purusha. In the Bhagavad Gita, it says that all living entities are marginal energies of the Supreme Lord. We are part of that marginal energy, that energy which is both external and spiritual energy. We have the opportunity to be working under the spiritual energy, such as our consciousness, or if our consciousness is material, would be working under the external energy. But it is the duty of all living entities to serve the Supreme Person. And so Durga, I'm sorry, I'm just repeating a lot of what I'm not really here tonight very well. I'm sorry. So Durga is the representation of both the marginal and external energies. She's Maya. And Lord Shiva is the representation of the Supreme Person. So this is reminding me of, the manifestation of the material world. Lord Shiva is the one that Shambhu, right? That and who is the receptor, and that's Durga. It says the connection of Lord Shiva and Ambika or Durga is eternal. The whole idea of I'm trying to remember. I'm just gonna be quiet right now because I can't remember clearly. So Shakti could not accept any husband but Lord Shiva. So we're just hearing that, that there's all these connections that are eternal. So there's Shiva and Durga. That's one connection. And we always hear about Lord Krishna and Radharani coming in all different forms, as well as Lakshmi and Narayan. So there's these eternal connections. And here at the end, it says something about Kartikeya being born of Shiva and Durga. And that's a great story in itself. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Manasi Ganga Mataji. So these are short purports, just translations for the verses that I read, and I think that concludes the chapters. So Maitreya concludes by saying, actually, so this is a conversation between Vidur and Maitreya, where there is this huge explanation about it actually started where he started asking about how this universe was created, and then from there, who were the Prajapatis, the first progenitors of mankind. And from Lord Brahma, he started explaining about his sons and grandsons. So Daksha is actually one of the sons of Lord Brahma, and so it's his story here. And then we'll so he says that, I heard this story about the sacrifice of Daksha, the yagya sacrifice of Daksha, which was devastated by Lord Shiva from Uddhava, who was a great devotee and disciple of Brihaspati. And then he goes on to say, if one hears and again narrates with faith and devotion the story of Daksha Yagya as it was conducted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, then certainly one is cleared of all contamination of material existence, O son of Guru. When I read this, like, I was amazed because this whole story is about killing each other, destroying the sacrifice, and then punching each other and breaking their teeth, tearing away their mustache and hair, and you know it sounded like quite a story. It was a very heavy story, but because it is in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, we may hear such a story, and yet our hearts will experience purification by hearing about how everything came together for Daksha, although everything fell apart because of his pride and ignorance. But by the mercy of the Lord, by the mercy of Lord Brahma, by the mercy of Lord Shiva, by the mercy of Lord Brahma, because he came back to Lord Shiva to seek for forgiveness, and by the mercy of Lord Shiva, because he forgave all of them. He did not take any offense. And by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, because he appeared from the fire in 800 form. So, because of all these great personalities, again, Daksha was restored to life. He was given the head of a goat. And by hearing this story, like, our hearts will become purified of any contamination of material existence. It's quite amazing. Like, when I think about the story, and still it has the potency to cleanse our heart. So, and there, thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of 4th canto, chapter 7 of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Sacrifice Performed by Daksha. So, thanks to all of you, all of your association, all of your cooperation. We are in the 4th canto, 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So
The
that's it.
story, yeah, the story was so beautiful, though. It was a story um, of offenses. It was a story of proper respect, of humility, of forgiveness, of coming, uh, of how through through serving the Lord, serving or making offerings or sacrifices to Lord Vishnu, how through his we hear always that through his satisfaction, everybody else is going to be satisfied as well, by feeding the stomach, the whole body benefits. It's just a story to learn so much on how to live, properly with relationships. I mean, we had so many good discussions on how to properly behave with, with one another. Forgiveness. I mean, humility, lack of humility. I don't know. I really like this story. And so there was all this killing and fighting and, heads of goats and this and that. But amongst all that violence and there was so many good things that happened, and it's only through trying to please the Lord that that everything came back, and peace was restored only through pleasing the Lord, pleasing Lord Vishnu. So, Hare Krishna.
Very, very well said. Very beautiful, Manasi Ganga Mataji. Actually, I also really enjoyed this story. Very, very intense, but at the same time, like through Prabhupada's purports, there was so much to learn and take away. Thank you so much. Yes, so we have another beautiful story to look forward to as we finish this section. So next section is the section of Dhruva Maharaj. And that's again a very inspiring story. Actually, like some of the stories from Srimad Bhagavatam, we kind of know, but then there are some stories that I did not know of. Like this story, I did not know of Daksha in so much detail as much as I read with all of you now. So yeah, like all of you are expressing, actually, yeah, it's a very beautiful story, very beautiful pastime actually. So I think as we keep reading Srimad Bhagavatam, I think that the taste of reading increases more and more as we read in the association of devotees. So I was also actually thinking about Daksha, that he is the son of Brahma, and although like he himself, like he had so much of envy against Lord Shiva, but being a relative of a devotee is also so beneficial actually, that Brahma actually takes them all to Lord Shiva, and then Shiva is willing to forgive. And so I was just thinking that the association of devotees is so important because it actually brings the mercy of the Lord into our hearts. So I was just appreciating the association of all of you as well, because I know that if this class wasn't there, I don't think I would have ever come to fourth canto and even read those verses or chapters by myself. So just wanted to thank you all for being there and consistently reading Srila Prabhupada's books very systematically.
Thank you as well. I agree. Yeah, it's so nice that we have each other, and it's so nice also that we trust each other enough to like really open up, and we're not just reading the stories, but we're trying to really have them settle in our hearts, by talking about our own lives and how these stories, I guess, how they manifest within our own lives, different things that we're learning with regards to it. So I just want to thank us all too.
My husband was one day, he was remarking, and then he was saying that, making this remark, that in your class there is so much of sharing and realizations, and because generally I think that the class that he does for Bhakti Shastri and other things, it's mostly like a one way kind of there's an instructor who is trying to kind of speak and share from the purports. So he was actually appreciating this, and then I was telling him that this is more like a place that we share friendships with, because we, like you were saying just now, like we know that this information is not going out anywhere. It's just that we can open our hearts and get closer to each other by reading Prabhupada's books. So
Yeah, he was also appreciating.
We are on YouTube, but nobody listens to our classes, so that's good.
Yeah. I don't think anybody knows that we have a YouTube channel to follow, which is, I guess, is a good thing. But anyway.
Actually, I
So-
think there is one thing we should do in case we are ending. We should turn on our videos, and Rohini Mataji is there. Hari Krishna, Rohini Mataji. Because we don't do this very often, but I thought I saw this somewhere and I was inspired. So,
Hare Krishna.
Hari Krishna. So please turn on your videos. Hari Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, Hari Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण बहुत दिन से
दंडवत प्रणाम।
मिला नहीं है ना।
हाँ,
मैंने यूनिक में हमेशा ही रखता है ना, इसके लिए आप लोग से बात नहीं होता नहीं। और कैसा है प्रभु, आ गया?
Dheera Shanta Mataji, can you also please show us your beautiful lotus face?
माता जी बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आप लोग।
Oh, Hari Bol.
हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna Mata ji, now we know how you are so energetically serving Kishore Kishori, the secret of your energy.
नहीं, इतना मिस हो रहा है आपको बता सकता नहीं।
Manasi Ganga
आप
Mataji,
तो बहुत
Rohini Mataji is saying that she is missing all the devotees. She cannot even express. You are muted. Manasi Ganga Mataji, you are muted.
Oh, me too. I miss the devotees too. It's so good to see you, Rohini Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
So nice to see you, Mataji. My goodness.
So good
We
to
miss
see you.
all.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I miss you too. So good to see you. You
Yeah.
look good.
Bhakti
Thank you,
Mataji is also next to her.
माता जी आप दिखाते हैं हम
Oh,
लोगों
hi. Hare Krishna.
हरे
को जी
कृष्ण।
कैसे हैं माता जी आप?
ठीक है।
आप लोग का प्यार और कृपा है ना, इसके लिए।
कृपा नहीं माता जी, आप लोग का कृपा हम पर है। आप रोज सेवा कर रहे हैं किशोर किशोरी का। So, माता जी, she is saying that it is your mercy we are doing good. So I was telling her that Mata ji, you serving Kishore Kishori for so many years, it is your mercy that we are doing good. That's the
Very
translation.
nice.
Dheera Shanta Mataji, you ran away.
धीरा शांति माता जी किधर है? उसका मुख तो नहीं देखा।
माता जी
Yeah, actually, we should. This is again something I learned. See, this is how you hold hands.
Yeah.
Everybody hold hands.
What is holding hand?
See?
This?
Yeah, we can like this.
Oh,
We can hold
okay.
each other's hands virtually.
I don't understand this part, but I'm happy to see
Because I think you're using a phone. If you use a computer, then you'll see everybody together is holding.
Oh, see, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah.
having a
I'm
phone.
using a phone.
Everybody together.
Okay, Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna. So nice.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी।
Hare Krishna Mataji.
What is the picture? Can you show the picture higher? I can't. Oh, it's just a Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, I didn't know if you were trying to show us. Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to show us something.
No, Mataji, it's just the book. Yeah. I don't know how to read from the phone and computer that well. I need the book for like a physical copy to read. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some people have that, and for me, I cannot read from digital media that much.
Mm.
I like everything printed, or like I like to write by hand and not like type, and so
Oh, yeah.
this is
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah. Yeah. You look so good. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. How many months are you? How many months are you?
30 weeks now, Mataji.
7 now? Okay. You look so
I don't know.
good. You
I
look
always fight over the months, but I'm 30 weeks now. So,
30
I mean, the
work. Yeah.
baby is 30 weeks, not me, but.
Yeah. Yeah. You look like you have energy, and your face looks very nice. They say, women when they're pregnant, they look most beautiful. And you look most beautiful.
Yeah, I'm happy to be with all of you. That's what. As soon as I turn off the phone, my husband will be like, "Why is your face like this?" So it matters. Association helps
There we go.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mataji. So we will end here, and we'll continue again tomorrow.
This is
Thank you,
devotees.
Mataji. It's nice to see everyone.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Yeah,
Leela
Srila Prabhupada
Manjari
ki
is
jai.
so happy. Nice place.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Have a nice
Hare
evening,
Bol.
everybody. Hare
You
Krishna.
too. Hare Krishna.